Stand by. Shooter ready.
Stand by.
All right. Welcome back to the PRS podcast. We have a couple living legends on the show today. Excited to do this. A couple of guys that I've known for quite a few years, well before being the director of the PRS and all that. With that, I'm going to leave it up to you guys to do some introductions. We'll start with you, Matt.
My name's Matt.
He's waking up with his coffee.
Well,
we just drove all night and all morning. It's Matt Alwine. Let's go, buddy.
Okay. All right. We'll skip Matt. John Pynch.
He's just Matt's a big fan of dramatic pauses.
You snooze, you lose.
Oh man, Matt's at my house. He's in the living room. We just drove back from a match in California. Just got back home a few minutes ago, Monday morning. So we're waking up and excited to talk to Ken. So I grew up, I'm a West Coast guy, shot a lot of PRS. Probably started pretty heavy in 2016 and definitely have not shot as much the last few years. Haven't been able to finale the last few years because of hunts. So I've been hunting a lot. And I always tell buddies like, hey, if I love shooting, but if a hunt comes up, that's always taking precedent. So even on finales, which I hate missing them, but been on some fun hunts. So been doing a ton of hunting. Been really fortunate to be able to go to some real crazy hunts. Just finished the North American 29 this year, which was a big deal, big accomplishment. We could talk about what that is. A lot of people don't know what that is.
I want to get into that.
Yeah, that's been fun. Shoot a lot of intrail hunter, which kind of goes really well with the hunting side of things we're doing. But no, I love competing. I've been on a pretty big break. I don't think I shot a match like 7 months the way hunts started in August into July last year. And just got back from my last hunt in the Yukon like 6 days ago and went down to California with Matt. It was super fun. We had great. He brought his boys. We picked up Brian Pence, a longtime friend, and just got back from the California first match of my season, and just had a blast. And we had like 70, 80 degree weather while guys in Box Canyon were getting snowed on, I guess. So I feel pretty happy about that too. So anyway.
Yeah.
We made the right choice there as far as locations go.
Yeah.
Well, there 100%. was, you guys shot an NRL Hunter match this last weekend, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. And there was
two in California.
Yeah. There was California one and there was one in Colorado as well too, right?
Yeah. They got snowed on also.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yep.
That was pretty nice. So
heck yeah. Matt, you have any additional comments to say, accolades or things people may know you from?
I don't know what people know me from. I haven't been shooting anywhere near as long as John, but I've shot a lot.
A lot.
2019, I think. John is who got me into it, taught me how to shoot all of that. And 2019, I hit it hard. I think that's the year I met you. I think I came to your guys' matchup in Wisconsin that year. I think I shot like 15 matches or something like that my first year. Went into it pretty hard and been decent here and there since.
Yeah.
We've been friends for a long time, and Matt's a competitor. We could talk about all that, but like shooting's one thing, but the mindset's another. And it was I shot archery tournaments with Matt. He had talked me into going a few of those back in the day, and he was a killer in the archery world. So I knew he was going to do just great in the rifle world. It didn't take long for him to get top of podium in a hurry. So
no joke.
It's fun to see.
Strong archery background.
Dominating, yeah.
Right.
So
yeah, and last year, Matt, you finished second at the PRS finale, right? Shooting we'll say it, shooting a savage, right?
Savage.
Yeah, get the pronunciation right. Come on.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah.
Yeah, you burned it down. We were actually talking about that this weekend. I was like, Matt's like, I think I was like 100th place on day one. And then I was watching. I got somewhere where I had service that day. Or I just got back from a hunt on Saturday, and I was watching was it impact scoring or
whatever? It was live impact scoring, yeah.
Yeah, and I was watching that, and you'd see people like the stage he's going into. For me, not knowing what's going on or seeing the matchbook, and I'm seeing guys get like 6, 7, 8s out of 12s, and then Matt rolls through 12. 10, 12, 10. I was like, dude, what is going on? Every 3-4 stages, he'd grab his phone and be like, I don't know, boys, I'm on one. And it was wild to watch, and I didn't even get to see him shoot, so it was pretty cool.
Heck yeah. It's fun. It's fun watching. I'll say both of you guys compete. When you have sort of a horse in a race, or and you guys being friends of mine, like it's. I love watching live scoring and seeing you guys do well. So, let's talk hunting accomplishments. So, Pynch, you mentioned North American 29. Let's do a quick rundown of what that is, how long it took, and notable hunts, and that monster that's behind you there. We'll have to.
That was there for that one. That was a big one. Yeah, the 29. It's been a long time thing. It's the 29 huntable big game species in North America. Kind of a compilation of them. There's all the species of bear. I mean, I don't know if we want to go through them all, but there's bear and caribou, and 4 different species of caribou and 3 different species of moose and 4 sheep, and you've got mountain goat and antelope and deer and elk and everything.
Ton of them, yeah.
And so that's a big, I mean, as far as how long it takes me, I mean, I guess you'd say my whole life, because I've been hunting my whole life, but really since probably 2015, so the last 10 years is when things got wild. I've talked about this publicly a lot in regards to a buddy I grew up with, Ben. It obviously takes some money to do some of these, and a buddy I grew up with since I was a baby, families were friends and stuff, has done real well, and likes to spend money on hunting. And long story short, he was the one who, there's no way I can have the means to do these things, and so I'm super fortunate to be able to experience some of the hunts in some of the places that are just incredible. So we could talk about that forever.
If somebody were going to try to do this, right, North American 29, and had unlimited funds and wanted to shoot, we'll say wall hangers, right? I mean, not just shoot something of that species and move on.
Yeah.
If you wanted to shoot decent animals, like what? Just like money's no issue. And time's no issue. Like, what's the fastest somebody realistically could do this? Because I think 10 years that's awfully fast, I think.
It is quick. I guess if you made it your mission, well, see, it's North America, so most of the stuff is hunted in the fall. It's not like you can go to other countries where it's, right now it's hunting New Zealand, and, in a couple of months it's Africa, so you are kind of stacked in the fall, but I don't actually know. I know some guys that have done the sheep slam in 1 year, which is wild. And that takes a lot of planning. I don't know what the shortest 29 is. Do you have it?
Fucking unlimited budget. If guys are popping flight to flight on private jets, like you can crazy.
Could you do 10 a year?
20, 30 million. I bet you could do it in my head, I'm trying to see if you could do it in a year, and I don't think you could.
Yeah.
You'd have to get a little bit lucky. I think 2 years would be insane. 2 to 3 years, maybe, if you had private jets and everything and you were $20-30 million into it, I bet you could, because you'd have guys out pre-scouting everything, so you wouldn't go hunt. You'd show up, kill it, and leave. Yeah, where there's, how it goes. Where there's money, you can do anything you want.
And there's people that do that, right? Like that would just fly in on a helicopter. And there's been guys out scouting sheep or whatever, in the Yukon or somewhere that takes forever to get
helicopters, but same difference, 100%. Yeah, you could do some crazy stuff. So, with governor's tags, and I'm sure you could. I guess I haven't thought about that much, but I would think with unlimited money you could do it in a few years, maybe. So, but some of these hunts, like I've had hunts go for 2, 3, 4 weeks, and so you start to add a few of those in there, it kind of throws off the timeline. But if you didn't really want to hunt, you just wanted to shoot, and to me, like the experience is like I want them to always go longer. Like we were in Kodiak, and that felt so rushed, and there was all the kind of weird pressure because kind of the end of my 29, I really need to kill that this year, and we were trying to hunt this sheep for my last one. So it's kind of a weird quick trip, but like if you stayed up there for 2-3 extra days fishing and shooting ducks, soaking it up,
that'd be awesome.
That was kind of a quick trip that I would like to stretch out. But most of them, you have a decent amount of time where you can really enjoy the people and the places, which gives you some crazy. You're always meeting interesting people.
Well, let's talk about that. So, what's the furthest south that you took an animal as part of North American 29, and then the furthest north?
Yeah,
and we'll
Mexico.
do east-west.
Yeah, I mean North America is North America, right? So we're down into Mexico. I shot a desert sheep down there, and a coos deer down there,
Hmm.
and then and not terribly south. Kind of get down into Hermosillo area, and you go would be west to Tiburon Island out in the Baja or the Sea of Cortez, and then hunting around there for coos. Matt's been down. You've hunted down in that same area quite a bit for coos deer over the years. So it's not. I mean, driving 5-6 hours probably south of the border, and then furthest north is up in the Arctic for the. Well, shoot, I was right by the Arctic Circle last week. We were hunting wolves for a week, and we were way up there, and so. But the muskox polar bear were a little further north, and it was east over in Nunavut. So Cambridge Bay, and then all the way up. My Igloolik is where I killed my polar bear, and we
Yeah.
landed in that little village, and then we went north about 130 miles on snowmobiles.
Which is crazy. Like I was following you on InReach for that, and
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you were straight north of where I'm at in Wisconsin, but
yeah,
like
yeah. Three
12 or
flights.
1,500 miles straight
Yeah,
north. Like,
yeah. We were out living on the ocean. It was wild. I mean, you'd hear the
yeah,
ocean cracking at night. You know, the sea ice moves around and stuff. And
yeah,
you're sleeping on the ocean. It's pretty cool. They fish out there in the summer, and they're like, yeah, it's about 350, 400 feet deep where we're sleeping right now. I was like, oh, that's wild. So some really neat experiences.
yeah,
I can't put into words like, I mean, how grateful, and every hunt's different. Like it's just fun. Like even going down, like Matt drew a killer New Mexico tag last year and down there, and you see new areas, and it's just everything's got its own flavor and feel, and
mm,
and some are better than others, and it's just fun to go to new places like that. So
hmm,
east and west, not real. I mean, from the west coast, out the west would be probably out the Aleutian chain of Alaska. We were on
sure.
the last before it goes to islands out the chain, the last bit of mainland, I guess you'd out in Cold Bay.
That's
That would be
for
the
brown
furthest
bear.
west. Yeah, that was brown bear. Been out there a few times, and caribou as well,
Oh,
one time. And then east would be to Newfoundland. So St. John's is northeast of Maine, out there on Newfoundland, and so flying to St. John's, capital of Newfoundland, and then it's about a 6-7 hour drive through that country. So
way
yeah,
out.
it's kind of like a funnel. You start in Mexico, and then a lot in Canada.
Yeah,
You can get your mule deer and your elk, your antelope down here, but then you really start to get up. There's a lot of good hunting in Canada and Alaska.
yeah, yeah.
A ton. Canada's amazing. I don't know if we should take it, but because we'd ruin it with too many people, we'd ruin the hunting. There's a lot of talk about taking it, but I was like, yeah, that's great until I realized how many Americans there are, and there'd be no animals left. So
There would, yeah, exactly.
leave it to the Canadians. We'll keep it. We'll keep the hunting good up there.
Yeah. Matt, let's talk about some of your hunting accomplishments. You're not, I don't think you're actively pursuing the North American 29, but I bet you know your number, right? Like how many of them have you gotten?
Uh, no, I don't.
Come on.
Eight, 9, 10,
Really? Okay. So what do you,
maybe.
Or when you kill 1,000 elk every year, kind of gets sucked
Yeah,
into one species.
pretty just elk and mule deer
okay.
specific. Yeah,
You
we talk about that all the time. Where if I had unlimited resources to spend on hunting, I would just spend more money on elk and mule deer hunting.
100%.
That's awesome.
I don't
Yep.
blame him for it either.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll share with that. I don't think I've told this story either. Friday of sight-in for the finale this year. Well, I talked with Brian Neese and Seth Howard in advance of the finale, like a year in advance, obviously, because we were pointing that out for the PRS. And I said, man, like I've never been on a mule deer hunt. Is there any options available around the time of the finale, like in that part of Idaho? And I think it was Brian that said, "Dude, yeah. Try to apply for this tag, this unit. It's going to be close, and it's they call it a high desert or short range hunt. So you can use a slug gun if you wanted, or muzzleloader, and it can be modern muzzleloader like bolt action, scope, etc. Which I had. So, game on. I'll apply for tags. Well, we didn't get the first run, but we got return tag opportunity and drew a tag. It was going to be good for 3 or 4 days around the finale there. So Friday at check-in at PRS Pro Series finale, I mentioned this to Matt, and he's like, Are you serious? Well, like it seemed like you sighted in as fast as you could. Yep, rifle's good. And then you were out scouting. Like you were out looking in that unit to see if you could find a couple muleys. Like that's priority for you, right? Like it didn't matter if we're at the Pro Series finale or not. This is hunting season. And then to do as well as you did is remarkable. Wow.
Because I did not find any mule deer.
Because Ken didn't give you enough time to do some scouting, probably.
Well,
that's Ken. That's on Ken.
100%. I would have never asked for that. But had now knowing what I know, I would have said, "Hey Matt, why don't you come in a couple days early? Let's just put some miles on, you know."
Yeah, I came to the finale from Elkhorn. Actually, John was there too. So John, probably the best elk tag in the state of Oregon, and we were up with him.
Yep.
So I left Friday from that hunt to go
right
to the finale. So I was in hunt mode. I didn't even really want to be shooting. So when you mentioned mule deer, I was ready to go look.
Man,
you kind of shift gears. Like I'll get in a comp gear, I'm like, let's go, and you're like, oh, and man, I don't know, and then as soon as you shift into that, like it sucks you in. Like every day more, like if I hunt 3 days, then I get more and more focused on like this wolf. I did not want to leave. First couple of days, like this is going to be a long shot. This is tough weather, tough situation. But then every day I was like, no, one more day. At some point, so wolf will show up somewhere. So, but Matt's not to the extreme. Matt causes issues because people I get messages like, hey, I just want to kill an elk out west. A lot of guys from the East Coast. We had this discussion this weekend with a couple of boys from the East Coast, good dudes, and they want to kill an elk. And I was like, well, Matt makes it look a little easier than it is. People do have no idea how hard Matt hunts. He is a freaking machine. Like whatever it takes, like he gets after it. So
man, it's different. Like I've talked to a lot of West Coast guys, right? That and have this conversation about like, wow, what matches, finale, whatever. And it's like, man, that's hunting season. Like I'm going to hit it hard in spring and we'll see where it ends up, but we'll see if I even go to the finale. Cause I might draw a tag like for a guy from Wisconsin, like, and actually the finale where it currently sits first week of November, that's like prime time whitetail. Like those 3 days are probably right in the middle of the rut when they're really moving. So like, it's a little different for us, only having like a week or so of like really good hunting here in Wisconsin. But like, like talking to Brady Allenson, he's in Utah, he's like, yeah, I don't know, man. Like I love shooting. I'm going to shoot most of the summer, but as soon as it's hunting season, like I turn it off. And being a guy from the Midwest, I'm like 95% shooting. Like I don't get this. Well, I mean, couple hunts here or there I go on. I love it. It's a great experience, but not having it in my backyard, I think, what I have in my backyard is you go out and sit in a blind and freeze your ass off. Like that's not fun.
And you can get a tag every year, right?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. How many do you want?
Yeah. So like Brady,
but it's
being in Utah. Yeah. So Brady, even if it was a general Utah tag, he would think different. What we're all kind of waiting on out west is draw results because there's too many hunters for a small amount of tags. And so like I've applied for 18 years in Oregon and I probably like that tag I want, it's 20, 23, 24 years to get. So if I draw the tag I want,
all bets are off.
I'm going to a rifle match. And that's what Brady's like. He's like, hey, if I draw this deer tag and same for Matt, like everyone's waiting for draw results out here. Like, hey, what did I get? Did I win the lottery? Did I win the tag lottery? And that changes everything. You don't really know that until the next, 2-3 months, we'll start to get all the states will be done. So,
right. Yeah. That's foreign to me.
I just put in for New Mexico, my whole family. So me, my wife, Shannon, both my boys, for almost every species. And a lot of those are just like a 5% chance, 10% chance of drawing. But you get 4 species apiece times 4 of us. And like, we'll probably end up with a tag in New Mexico. But it's still so rare to get that. But when we do, it's forget everything else type thing.
Yeah, that's a wild concept to me. But I'm starting to get there. Like I talked to Rusty Elmer in Arizona couple months ago, and he's like,
some big animals.
Yes, and like he's like, just put in, So, okay, I started putting it in Arizona. Of course, that comes with trying to explain the situation to Missy, right? Being like, well, I'm putting in for a tag. That doesn't mean anything. Like it could mean everything, but it probably means nothing, you know?
Yeah, I put in for 7 or 8 states for between 13 and 20 years, and I've drawn one tag. I put in for hard to draw tags.
Oh, sure.
I drew a Nevada elk tag. So most of my odds are between like 0.5 to 3%. And I'll probably never draw a tag in all these states, but you just got to try.
You have to,
right?
yeah.
I drew that Nevada tag. I was 8 years in, and I drew one of the best Nevada tags. It cost $55,000 to buy that landowner tag, and I drew it. So that's kind of the value you're talking.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
literally hitting the lottery. Yeah.
It's yeah. I mean,
It may not be mega millions, but it's a state lottery.
Yeah, 100%. So that's kind of what it is. And like, even what was your odds on that tag you hit last year, Matt? It wasn't crazy, but it was still a good draw.
10% ish or something.
Yeah, it's
like
a 90% chance you're not getting it.
Yeah, 1 out of 10 years.
What did Corey draw? That was less than 1%, wasn't it? That was like a fraction of a percent.
Yeah, I think it was 1/3 of a percent or something like that. Take you to the next.
Yeah, you could apply for that for 10 lifetimes and not draw it. And so, yeah, it's a different world. It is. It's a little depressing to think about. Like, even we said, Brian and I were sitting down talking with, it was actually some of you guys that were out this weekend, and they're from back east, you know, and they're like, well, what, you know, wanting to hunt elk. We're talking to them, and they're like, I was like, you know, do you understand preference points? Do you have any? No. But they know, they were educated. They're like, I know. I was like, so we're trying to talk through some ideas. Actually, Clay called me we talked about elk a bunch this week. He's trying to get a hunt for his dad and himself. And it's just, it's a little depressing to talk about, because if you don't have time, like what Matt's killed some killer bulls in some you've killed some bulls in some not hard to get units. Which is, people have no idea.
You just got to put the work in, right? Like, I mean, if you get a general unit or whatever, like, well, we can be successful, but
work means. Like, it's Matt comes back. Matt's not a fat man. He'll come back 15 pounds lighter.
Yeah.
He killed one elk a couple years ago. He looked like a freaking a refugee or something when he came out of the mountains. I'm not joking.
No.
It was
good. I get it.
Yeah, I don't play. John goes after really good tags with his applications, and I don't. I go after realistic to get stuff.
Sure.
And then work harder or lower success rate, which I've had a pretty good success rate.
We probably work the same. I would just have a chance at the units you're killing top end bulls at like 330. And the hardest tags you're going to work that hard, and top end bulls are going to be 370, 380. It comes down to how big it really is a size game for the most part. And there's always a chance, right?
Well, yeah, a chance, right?
So John's way more of a snob than I am on size.
I like big animals. Whatever. If you saw 4-inch bull, you do anything to kill it.
Well, let's talk about this. This came from Oregon in the back here, behind you here, this sheep.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
That's number 29.
That is it.
I don't even know what to say. I mean,
well, you drew an unbelievable tag.
Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah.
So he got to take through the raffle system in Oregon, which is a luck system that you can buy as many chances as you want. But the ram itself is the new number 2 in the world archery and the state record overall, right, John?
Yeah, I've liked it quite a bit. Yeah, and then I think he's all-time ever killed and found deadhead. I think he's around. He's not. He's like kind of top 25ish. I think I have to double check. So but yeah, number 2 archery. So he just got official. These are actually reproductions. They're really good reproductions. But the originals are down in. I don't even know where they're at. I think they're in the Midwest somewhere. They got panel scored. A bunch of judges came together. They have to confirm it, and it got confirmed like a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Actually, while we were in New Zealand, it got confirmed.
So out of all 29, or anything that you've killed, by far the nicest animal.
Yeah, I mean, it'd have to be. I've never I like to hunt big stuff just for myself. I've never even considered putting anything in the record book, and I've killed a handful of book animals. I've never got them officially scored. I don't care. we shot this when Matt was there with me, and it just wasn't even an option. Like it's 100%. It's getting officially scored, and so that's just been a different. It's cool. It doesn't change how I feel about it or whatever. Like
Right.
I'm not necessarily a big. I like hunting big animals, but not for a record book, never or anything. just for myself. Yeah.
So if you don't mind,
Yeah.
stand next to it for a second, because I think for every, like, it wasn't like, it looks like a big animal, but until you have like a little size comparison, it is enormous.
It's hard because people don't know about sheep, but he's almost 46 long on this side. He's got like 17-inch bases.
Dude.
This is like a normal Washington ram. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to hold this up to see. I'm not gonna hold it very well. So anyway, he's just a big ram. Oh, what are you fucking doing? I don't know.
So that's a Washington on our left, which is probably a good size, and that is an enormous ram on the right.
This is a whole different thing.
Right. That is so wild.
So
that is so wild.
I mean, it's and the cool thing about this was it was in Oregon, which is really cool. Ben wanted to finish the 29 on a Rocky, which is kind of the hardest animal to get a tag. I don't know. It's probably one of the coolest animals as far as difficulty to hunt. And what I mean by it's one of the hardest animals to get tagged for.
Right.
And so again, go ahead.
So you finish on this huge Rocky, right? And then what? Like, yeah, I mean, you're not done hunting, you know?
No, so I just like honestly, elk and mule deer, kind of what Matt said. I love sheep hunting because I love that terrain. Like I'm going up to the territories this year to scout for some guys, just to be up there.
Right.
Like once you go up north, I want to take everybody up there because it's I can't describe it. It's unbelievable. It's the coolest place ever to hunt. It's endless grizzlies and wolves and sheep and it just feels as wild as it could feel as far as North America goes. And so I love that. I haven't even talked about it. As far as my buddy Ben, why all this is possible, he loves goals and we were hunting sheep and hunting our things we really like to hunt when the 29 discussion started. He's like, that sounds like a fun goal. And I was like, sounds like an insane goal, bud. and anyway, but he loves that stuff. And so again, there's a thing called the Rex Baker 40. And so there's 11 more species. And so we're doing that. So so we hunted Aoudad. Aoudad's one of them.
Sure.
There's one more sheep. There's California bighorn. There's a species of blacktail in Mexico. There's a different species of mule deer, gator, lynx, wolverine. It's a handful of different different things. So we're kind of been doing some things with that.
And then what, right? Like,
I just like to hunt. Like Matt said, like going on that hunt with him, like hunting my buddy. He drew a killer tag in Oregon. Like I want to draw tags. I want to go on whatever hunts we can get. I love hunting blacktail. That's a blacktail behind Matt. Not a giant one, but a big one for around here. And so, I don't know, just good hunts. Like I guess I would say the downside of the things I've been able to do is it has ruined. Like Matt knows, like he's not terribly wrong when he's like kind of a size snob. Like I would much rather go to a comp than go hunt like an average deer. Like you take a kid out and shoot it, that's fine, but I'm not going to shoot it. That's it's kind of bad. I'm like, man, I have lost. Like there is some hunting I don't want to do, and it is snobby. Like I can hear that. I understand that, and so I'm going to go on good. I want to go on good hunts, and if I don't have the tag, I'd rather go with Matt and have him shoot something big, or Ben, or a bunch of other guys that I know. I'd rather just go on fun hunts. There's a place I want to go. I like to go to hunt Dagestan tur. I like to hunt ibex someday. And then, I really want to kill a big mule deer. I've killed decent mule deer, but never killed a big. Matt's killed a big mule deer. I'd like to kill some big mule deer and elk. I've never been a giant elk guy. I love hunting them, but not as much as mule deer. I don't know. I don't know why. I love mule deer. Are cool.
So, Matt, what is it about mule deer that gets you going? Like, what's exciting about a mule deer hunt?
Most of it's where they live. You know, most of the mule deer in the country, desert stuff, I guess. But you know, it's like what John's talking about Northwest Territories for sheep. It's what we have down here is mule deer. You know, when you're up 8,000, 10,000 feet above tree line, it's just cool country. And there's other guys in there. Like as soon as you think you're the toughest guy around, 10 miles in, you see Billy Badass walk by. But it's still very few compared to, you know, a whitetail hunt. Like any fat slob can sit in a tree stand and kill a whitetail. And people hate it when you say that, but it's just.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. You guys stir the pot a little bit, or it wouldn't be an Alwine podcast.
That's what I like with elk too. Like you could go kill. There's a place you can go kill an easy elk, but most everywhere else is brutal country.
Yeah.
I like the suck, I guess.
Man, yeah. This is all foreign to me. Like I said at the beginning too. Like even that hunt that I went on with John up in Kodiak, like, and those, you know, a Sitka blacktail isn't a big animal. It's probably one of the smallest of the North American 29, right? Yeah. And carrying one of those out, and we only had a couple miles. Yeah, it was a little bit of snow, but it wasn't bad trekking. Like for a guy from the Midwest that usually drags a deer out, or you know, throws it in the back of a side by side or on 4-wheel or something like that, like walking for an hour. I think it was about an hour and a half maybe, with 100 pounds on your back is a lot. But like you go out and we'll kill an elk bow hunting way back and make, you know, well, I mean, what's the longest pack out you've done? Like days?
Oh, yeah. Luckily now I've got some pretty good buddies that usually will show up and help me. So it's not like multiple trip, but I killed a bull with my bow 4 years ago now. And I was like 10 miles in by myself. And I was mule deer hunting. I wouldn't have killed a bull, and it was hot. I wouldn't have been able to get him out by myself. He would have spoiled. But I got on my inReach and I got a hold of two different buddies. They're like, if you kill him, we'll get there. Yeah. And so I ended up killing him. But I put on 30 some miles that day, multiple trips. Because I had to get my camp out one side of the mountain, get my truck, drive around back in the other side. So we wanted to back him up that side. I couldn't really walk for after that, so it wasn't real smart.
It's not good for you. It's not like, hey, I worked out hard, I'm stronger now. It's like, no, it does. It's long term. It hurts your body. Like
seriously.
It hurts.
Yeah, because I shot him right at sunrise, and I think it was like 1 or 2 in the morning when we got there, and it was just solid going the whole time.
Yeah, with
just adrenaline and through it or whatever. When it's over, it's.
And you're talking a serious amount of weight too. I mean, like 100 plus each trip on your back.
Yeah, I think the first trip I took all my gear in camp, and my buddy's gear that had come in, and he went out the other way to start shuttling me down. 130 pounds, 10 miles down that first trip, and I just had to turn it over.
That's what people. That's probably the biggest thing that people in the Midwest will never understand, right? Like thinking of a 130-pound pack for 10 miles.
It's
not flat ground either, right? No,
that's the thing. Like walking on a trail is one thing. That's easy. Side hilling out of mountains.
But yeah, that was the problem. It was at 9,500 feet, and the truck was at like 6,000 or something like that.
How much water do you have?
Plenty of water. There's a creek there.
Okay.
There's a lot of places you can stop.
Okay.
So
yeah, I mean, what you guys, it's unreal. It's unreal for most guys. And I think that's, like I love living vicariously through you guys via Instagram when you do post. I mean, Matt's posting all the time. John,
you have to write this in, man.
Not enough, man. But when you do, it's like, holy cow, he posted something. This is going to be awesome. And it's always, it always is, but man. Yeah.
No, that's
So,
cool.
all right. So we kind of talked plans. I mean, you guys have a lot of tags in for this year, right? But
Mhm.
anything concrete, anything that you know you're going to be doing for 2025?
Yeah, I've got some stuff. I got some weird stuff this year. I'm going to be in Africa for a month and a half,
Awesome.
in July and August. I'm sure I'll shoot some stuff. Africa's not like real high up on my list. It's like I'd say it's a lot more shooting than hunting, kind of like New Zealand. It's
Hmm.
not, you can make New Zealand hard if you backpack. You can make New Zealand really easy because there's no rules. You can do whatever you want, fly around, shoot stuff out of a chopper. Um, so, so Africa is kind of a job. I'm going with a guy who's going to kill almost about everything in Africa except for a bongo, and I'm going to be bringing guns and photographing and
Okay.
doing a bunch of stuff like that. So I'll be gone all of July, most of August, and then I'll come straight back from there and go straight to Northwest Territories for August and some of September. And then there's a lot of stuff up in the air for September, October. Bright side right now is finale's open. So we were talking about this last night with Matt. I was like, I'm missing NRL championship again for what, second year in a
Sure.
row, and then PRS I missed the last couple of years,
Mhm.
being in Alberta. But as of now, I think I can make PRS is what
In
I'm
November.
I'm trying to keep that open because like I said earlier, like I'll skip it to go hunt, but it still bugs me. It's like, man, if we could just move stuff around, I'd still a lot of good people. I mean, we have our competitive stuff, but man, I haven't
Right.
seen Orgain in a long time. Whatever. There's a bunch of guys like
Mhm.
that. I just don't, and they're family. Like I got more friends away from here than I do at home anymore because we're always on the road and stuff. So
Right.
you
Right.
know. So I'm really hoping to make that. But yeah, that's concrete for sure is Africa, territory, some other stuff in Canada. I got a late hunt in November down in Oregon around close to Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of filler stuff that we've got feelers out. And a lot of stuff comes up last minute. There's some real big things we're working on. Really, this one area I really want to hunt doll sheep. We've been
Mhm.
working on for years. It's about impossible to get in. We got a call last year. That's not in concrete. And I don't
But
want
looks pretty good. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Hopefully the next year or two.
Yeah.
Anyway, a bunch of stuff.
Man, that doesn't leave a lot of time for competing, though.
No, it's
Hunter
not.
matches or
No, and
pro
like
matches.
my mentality, we're all competitors. Like
Yeah.
you go in and you're like, man, can I? If I when I was going wide open, shooting and and practicing and caring more, I was like, can I shut this off? Like, could I go to a PRS match and just have fun and hang out with my buddies? And I don't think I can. So I've
He cannot.
but
For the
I
record,
can't.
he cannot.
No, this weekend was not great for that. So, so I want to try to get some reps in and be
Yeah.
competitive. It's more fun. So, just navigating through that. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get some matches. I got to get 3 in. I shot 3 real quick last some East Coast matches that I want to shoot some more West Coast, but I also didn't get a qualifier last year, so
Mhm.
I gotta pay better attention schedule wise. But I have 3 months right now, so this weekend was my first weekend back. I shot California. I just got a spot in Wyoming for next weekend. I hope, and I'm gonna try to do some hunters, and then I want to get to PRS as fast as I can and shoot as many as I can in the next 11 weeks before I leave out.
Man,
Which
that's
is
wild.
good. It is what it is. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna be able to shoot 15 matches and get a 300 like everybody, but I'll maybe I can go 3 for 3. We'll come.
Yeah,
That'd be
yeah.
the miracle of the decade. Competition is stiff.
It
It's
is.
fun watching some of these guys. They're freaking good, and they
It's
care
getting
a lot.
harder.
It's wild. Yeah,
It's getting a lot harder.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I watched Matt burn it down last week on the finale. I was like, oh, okay, we can still do this.
All right, Matt. What are your plans this year? Are you planning on overseas travel, hunting, that type of thing, or
Nothing overseas.
sure?
I'm gonna shoot a bunch of NRL this spring,
Mhm.
and then kind of June-ish switch over to try to do a bunch of PRS the second half of the season, and then
They don't know if
got
they're-
archery. I got a pretty good archery elk tag in Idaho in September, so I'll go hunt that. And
Okay.
got a bunch of applications in for some August stuff. I'd like to be hunting by August, but a lot of times it ends up I don't have first tag till September. But got
Sure.
some. I got elk tag and it's pretty tough. It's a general tag in Idaho, but general tags are sold first come, so it's a war to get one of those and some
Yeah.
luck involved. So I'm pretty happy I got that archery tag, and then Shannon my wife got a rifle elk tag down there too. So I know we at least have that ready
Yeah.
to go, but a ton of other application stuff and we're waiting on.
By the
Yeah.
time it comes, you'll have 6, 7 other tags between the fam for sure. 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. So you'll have, well, John, are you going to shoot NRL finale this year too in June?
I know I can't.
Well, no, you're going to, yeah.
I'll be gone. I'll be in Africa.
Yeah,
So,
man.
yeah.
So, Matt, you'll be doing.
That's kind of a bummer. Matt will be there.
Yeah.
He'll be representing.
Yeah. And then, Matt, what's your plan for PRS stuff here? Try to get in 3-4 matches, try to win them.
Yeah, just go shoot 3, win all 3. I mean, that's an easy way in, right?
It would be, wouldn't it? Are you
Yeah.
shooting? So, I mean, you've been the production shooter for the last few years. What's the plan this year? You can shoot an open. You can shoot production again.
No, the goal is to continue my production legacy.
Sure.
We're all getting overall trophies.
There you go.
That's
Yeah,
the
I mean
goal.
that I love it. I'd love to see that. If there's any 2 guys here that would be good at something, I would love to see you guys do sportsman division and see how you do.
I didn't even think about that.
Man, I've been shooting.
Maybe sport.
Shot last 3-4 matches, 13 pounds, 6.5 Creedmoor, 12 pound, 10 ounces, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's a challenge. It's a new challenge, and I hope guys listen to this. Like if you think going to competitions against stale, or that it's kind of the same thing, you're just doing it over and over again. Like try one of these light rifles in Creedmoor. Like it's pretty wild.
I almost pulled one out for the first match this season. I wanted to, so I was seriously considering it, but the reason I can't do it, or can't bring myself to do it, is I don't like, at least shooting production, I think I have a legit chance at still winning overall.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
And
for sure.
And I don't think I can shooting sports.
No, not with that attitude. I think of anybody, like it would be you 2 guys.
Well, I mean, it depends. There could be some heavy, if there was heavy prone troop line.
Heavy prone. That's it.
Totally.
That's it. Yep.
But if you have some quick awkward positions, I mean, I'm not saying a guy can't do it, but it doesn't set in the bag as fast. It takes longer to stay, to break your shot off a bag. Because we shoot a lot of that in our hunter, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's even the difference between 12-pound classes and 16-pound classes is night and day.
Mm-hmm.
Like I shot 16. I always shoot light at 12. I shot 16 this weekend because I shot teams. And night and day difference throwing a gun on a bag.
Yeah.
But a heavy prone PRS match, 100% you can hang. I know you can.
Yeah, and that's been my viewpoint on it too, or my experience. Like, if it's prone, like there's no disadvantage. In fact, I'm shooting the Hornady 153s, and like, man, if that hits the dirt, like you see it hit the dirt. It's an enormous bullet compared to like a 105.
Yeah.
I can spot where on target it hits.
Yeah.
I would agree on the prone thing, but if I go to a PRS match and it's all prone, then I'm complaining about it being a lame PRS match. So now I've gone to the sportsman division and I'm hoping for a lame PRS match. See, this is why I'm going to continue in production.
Yeah,
that's true. Go to PRS for the running gun.
Yeah,
that's funny.
I don't know. I've found like if like I used to run 18-20 power using a Mark V. Now I'm like 12-13 power.
Wow.
For the most part, you can see where the bullet goes, right? But
12-13 because of sportsman's division.
Yes. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm doing everything I can to keep that target in the viewport. It rocks me, and it's like come back, and try to find it. But yeah,
for sure.
Has anyone ever won a PRS match outright shooting the tactical division, like 308?
I think Mark Cooper was the closest. He finished second at Collis 2020, 2021.
But it has happened with production.
Sure.
It's happened with, I think you're way more likely to see it in the
gas gun,
tactical or gas gun than you are. I don't think someone.
Oh, I don't think so. No way. 6.5 Creed with what, dude? I'm not sure. I was having this conversation with George last week, and I think it's possible.
I think it's entirely possible. You get a
It's
really
very
good
match
shooter.
dependent.
Yep.
See,
Yeah.
this is how it would be possible is if you talk all the top shooters into doing it. So
I'd
like
love it.
20 guys there all
That's
doing it.
true.
They all
Put
have
And-
one.
money on.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, that would be fun.
How
about
Dude,
what's it take?
All of us get together to match. Like, hey, everyone's showing up with a.
Yep.
If you don't, we're gonna beat you at the spot. Like, we'll just have just a group beat down, and you can
What?
leave.
What?
Come on, Ken, put a $10,000 bounty on it. First person to win a 2-day PRS match in sportsman division, and you'll see some guys who are on the sportsman division. I don't think you'll have to pay the 10 grand out to do it.
What? Yeah. Well, if you don't think so, why not? The PRS puts $5,000 in, and Mount Forge puts $5,000 in.
Well, there you go.
If
Win
it's
with
with a
Mountain
Mountain Forge
Forge.
rifle, if it's with a Mountain Forge rifle, I'm in.
Yeah, you're gonna try to sell 100 rifles there to somebody,
Oh,
right?
you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. I don't, man. I
Oh, I
don't.
love it.
I don't think. I think that is the right way to do it, right? Like if we wanted to see, like you'd probably have Austin Orgain. Well, no, probably
Yeah.
Austin Bushman. He'd game the shit out of it, right? Like
Yeah.
go for it. But
Clay would get together and talk about it. Him, Morgan, their brains would like link up and talk about it for 4 days.
right. But I think you would if there was $10,000 on it. If somebody wins it, and I'll throw this out there: if there's any potential sponsors, partners out there that want to do something like that, let me know. But maybe you guys all heard it here first. We're gonna do this is the beginning
We'll
of
get
this.
sorted. We'll figure something out. I like it.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it that much because that's new, and I was like, I just want to start shooting again. And I was
Right.
like, oh yeah, that'd be weird to show up to a match and shoot a 12-pound gun. That's wild.
Yeah, it's fun. It's
Is
different
that with bipod or without?
with bipod. Yeah, so it's
Okay.
no plate bags. You can't
Yep.
you can't use one of those. But it's everything with a magazine, but no ammo in the magazine, obviously. But
Okay.
as the gun would be shot. So like like this last weekend, I shot with a Silencer Co. scythe on there, and man, I was weighing everything. Like, well, if I wanna use my suppressor cover that covers the whole thing, like I got to run without scope caps. Like you got to figure it out. But yeah.
Sounds
Well,
fun.
so
Something to think about. Add
Yeah.
to the list.
so we talked. Well, I mentioned it there. Mountain Forge. What's your guys' plans with Mountain Forge?
Go ahead, Matt. I need to move. I'm too far.
I
Matt and
need
I
to
live
move
like
too.
8 hours apart.
Yeah.
And so it's headquartered at Matt's.
Which you have a new place, Matt? I mean, I've seen the social media posts and all that. It looks like you're doing some remodeling or finishing or something. I guess explain that whole situation for us, Matt.
Oh, we're in the same old place. We've been building out the range and building a podcast studio there and stuff. So we have
Awesome.
been doing some remodeling and building out the shop and a bit of that stuff. But yeah, we're just, for the most part, we've just been doing hunting rifles for guys. But we're starting to dabble in this. Well, obviously we're doing NRL rifles, but I think we're working on dabbling into the PRS market, as we'll call it.
Sportsman?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of our guns would be perfect for sportsmen
That's
already.
what I'm talking about.
We already made that.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not what he's talking about.
Yeah, no, we're working on the Mountain Forge production rifle, so I can continue my what I say earlier,
Legacy.
my
Legacy.
my production legacy.
Oh, love it.
Yep.
Love it.
Heck
Love it.
yeah.
Yep. So that's
Yeah, no,
coming
so
up.
we should have that production rifle ready here next month or two. I think everything will be
Okay.
ready.
Okay.
Hopefully next month.
We got a pretty good chunk of them. I think sold pre-order, so I think the first chunk of them are going to be gone pretty fast. But
Yep. Yeah.
and then once that's ready is when we're going to start hitting PRS.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I was waiting for. I was like, shoot, this gun's the same as my open gun. So what's the difference?
Exactly.
That is the draw for the sportsman. It's like, hey, this is actually a different gun. Where production guns have turned into open guns,
Right.
more or less. So, but that's what I want. I want that production gun. I want to shoot some of that. So.
Heck yeah. I love it. There's obviously a lot of criticism towards production rifles and all this, and especially when there's a little gray area between, like some of like the rifle that you guys are building, or an MPA or GA Precision, all that, between that and like a full on custom rig, there's not a lot of margin there.
Yeah, the lines are getting blurry.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, we take criticisms for that, for owning the rule set, but nobody's applauding the fact that there's producers out there, rifle builders, that are giving an amazing product for $3,000.
100%.
Yeah.
We're going to be selling a $5,000 for $3,000, all because of my ego and wanting to shoot it in the production division.
He's not wrong.
I mean, like that's what that is.
Well,
100%.
So if this is going to be an official advertisement for you, Matt, like, where's somebody buy one of these $3,000, $5,000 rifles?
Oh, it's going to be on the Mountain Forge.
It's 20%, 40% off rival.
Yeah. It'll be on the Mountain Forge website here in the next, I don't know, probably a couple of weeks.
So this will probably take a week to get out. So
maybe I get things in gear and get it up on there. We could have a pre-order on the site at least. So.
Well, hopefully I remember. I'll put a link in the show notes, so then anybody can link to it from there and build your SEO up a little bit.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I kind of have shot myself in the foot though, because John's like, "Oh yeah, we'll do a production rifle and I'll shoot it too," and I'm like, "It could be a lot harder to win production." Now.
How did you shoot like you did on Sunday?
Well, who else do you think is going to shoot one of these? Because I think you told me there's a few guys out west that would be interested in also shooting production, right?
Yeah, I think old Dan Bertocchini will jump on board with us too. He's been talking about it. Hopefully, we're gonna pull Brian Pence back out of retirement one of these days.
Well, he's been building a house. He's almost done.
Do you know Brian, Ken, or is he before your time?
I know the name. I've never met him, but yeah.
He's like
I shot my very first 2-day match with him, and he was an experienced shooter, and we teamed up years ago. We talked about it driving home last night. I was like, "Remember that match?" He goes, "You need to bring 160 rounds or something." I was like, 160? I only bought a box of 100 brass, and I already lost 4 of them. And so I drove my rock chucker and my beam scale, and I C-clamped it to the hotel freaking little desk in the hotel room, and I sized my brass Saturday night and loaded it up for Sunday. And we beat Jake Vibbert and his teammate back in the day. So
nice.
Brian carried us, though. Brian did the brunt of the work on that match. So it was fun. He's been building a house for himself for a couple of years. And we give him a hard time for that, but he's almost done. So he's going to come back. I teamed up with him this weekend. We shot at Teams Inter 100 and had an absolute blast. So it was a good time.
Heck yeah.
So
right on. Well, what do you guys? Hey, we're at like 57 minutes here. Do you guys have anything else? Statements you want to make, or criticisms, Matt? I don't know, anything you want.
Direct it to Matt.
Yeah.
You shouldn't open that. You shouldn't open that.
How much more time do I have for this?
Hey, I could. Yeah, I got other plans this afternoon, but I can let the thing run here if you just want to keep rolling on record.
I don't think I have any.
We should cut this off right now.
I don't think I have any criticisms I haven't laid out. I'm not one to.
You don't hold back. No.
Yeah, I can't even. It's disappointing to have such an open door, and I can't even think of anything.
Thank you.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, I would say. Yeah. I mean, most of our official product partners of the PRS are pretty authentic. Hopefully, so hopefully that door's closed.
Is that shot at Tricer? Are you trying to get a shot at Tricer right there? Because that's amazing. That's what that was. Admit that that's what that was.
I pay attention online. I don't. Yeah, I'm sure they're a good company.
Well, the being diplomatic here.
Absolutely, 100%.
No, we're good. I miss a bunch of you guys. I'm excited to see you. Yeah, no, it's been good talking with you. I always like talking with you. And you're awesome. Doing a great job.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to get back out there. Hopefully, I can make the finale. I'd love to make it out.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
is that it, Matt?
Yeah. Hopefully we get our butts in gear. John and I are battling out for production.
I love it.
Sounds like a great time.
I would love to see that.
We will not be friends.
I'll pull it back or so.
Oh boy.
No friends the weekend of the finale.
Oh boy. All right. I appreciate you guys.
Awesome.
Thank you
Awesome.
guys
You
for
too,
coming on.
buddy. You too.